the digital brain hack you have been waiting for. Let's face it, most of us are absolutely drowning in digital clutter. There are notes everywhere, and ideas just kind of get lost in the void. What if, though, there was a way to turn that mess into creative rocket fuel? Enter the C.O.D.E framework from Building a Second Brain. I'm going to break down the 4 steps to turn all that information you're saving into a productivity powerhouse. Let's dig in. What is a second brain? It is basically just a place to keep your thoughts and ideas that can be easily accessed, and then it frees up your biological brain to do what it does, which is create and process and make new things out of the ideas you already have in this digital brain. And it frees up your mental space so you're not constantly trying to keep track of your ideas. They are all right there, just waiting, lurking. The C.O.D.E framework: capture, organize, distill, express. Let's break it down. The C for capture. You can use the Notes app on the iPhone. It's right here. I actually captured a complete creative form. I did at a Taekwondo tournament recently just by dictating that into my Notes app during class. You can use a Google Doc. You can use the voice memos on your phone. You can even use the Reminders app for if there's something that you want to do the instant you get to a location, or maybe when you get to your car. It actually gets specific enough that you can say, hey, if I'm getting in or out of my car, remind me to do this thing, or remind me of this thought. That's really cool. So many places and so many easy ways to capture a thought that comes into your head, or that you run across online, or something someone says who's near you, for example. And this information, it's passing through a new brain, and it may be magic in your hands. So don't discount your perspective. So for the apps, I can literally just press this, and then there's a whole new note ready for me. For Google Docs, it's just about as simple. And the lovely thing about Google Docs, for me at least, is it can be accessed from anywhere that I have an internet connection. So I don't even have to do anything. I can open a new one on my phone, and then next time I go to my computer, to a desktop, it's right there waiting for me if I want to expand on it. It's absolutely incredible. It's so easy to capture these ideas. And what you want to capture is anything at all that makes you feel something, that you find a little bit surprising, that changes your perspective at all. Anything like something that you didn't know already. If you did know it, or you don't find it surprising, then you probably kind of already knew, and it's probably not really super worth capturing. But anything at all that resonates with you, that makes your brain think a little bit differently in a little bit of a new way, and you'll get better at it with time, but try capturing. Just think of something that is on your mind and put it into one of these places and just see, let it simmer, and later we're going to go back and we're going to see what we can do with it. The O is for organize. This is, you should organize your thoughts for what they're for, not where they came from. So I wouldn't necessarily say, as an example, organize all my Wikipedia pages as Wikipedia notes. I would organize them, if I saved those, for this relates to this thought that I had, relates to this thought that I had, and put them where they are most likely to be useful. Because it is not honestly very likely that you're going to just randomly decide, I'm just going to go through all my notes today. That's not how brains really work. What you're going to think about is, oh, I have a project coming up, or for me, I have a video that I want to get out to you guys, a motivational thing on a Sunday, and I should look through those, my motivational ideas or my personal growth ideas, and see what is in there and what you might get the most value from today. So I'm not going to go to my Wikipedia notes. I'm going to go to, what are my personal growth ideas for my people today? You see, so you want to organize them for where they are most likely to be used and found, because then they'll be waiting for you, lurking. The D is for distill, which is just a fancy word for progressive summarization, meaning highlighting on steroids. So if we look at this illustration, we have the notes we captured here. That is like everything you found interesting from, say, I don't know, this book, which clearly has a lot because, wow, did I get into it. Look at all those notes. I put magnets on everything I want to show you guys. So captured notes, then your bolded passages or your underlined passages or whatever you decide is the next level, then your highlighted passages, or whatever you decide is the next level. Maybe you want to underline things and then maybe you want to bold things, but have different ones for the different levels. And then the final level is the executive summary, where it might just be like a couple little sentences, but you won't need that most of the time. The captured notes, my notes for this video are a great example of this. When I was going through this book, I literally had 12 pages of cool things I wanted to pull out from this book. It's that awesome. So I captured everything. Then when I went through to do the bold, I looked at, okay, what are the exact things I actually want to distill and show you guys? And then I went through again. So I radically cut down in step 2. And then I went through again and thought, okay, how can I make this as easily digestible as possible? So that's the level 3, is you want to get just the very essence in there. So my notes, like 12 pages, came down to a page of exactly what I want to show and tell. So that's how we do this. We gather everything we think is cool, and then we summarize, get just the tidbits, and then we get just the very essence, so that when you're going through later, all you have to do is read those couple little highlighted things, and then you're going to remember, like that triggers the memory in your brain of exactly like everything that's about, and then you don't have to go through the whole article. The memory is there. And so you can draw on it. The E, express, is make things. With all this information you have, make things, be creative, have it pass through your brain, and show your work to others. Expose it to the light of day. That actually is something from Systems Thinking up there. Check that video out. It's an awesome book. But get feedback on your ideas as early in the process as you can. It is much, much easier to take a little snippet, like your minimum viable idea, so to speak, and share it with someone, share it with a few people and say, hey, what do you think about this? And then if they have suggestions, if everyone has the same suggestion or whatever, you can pivot really easily in the beginning of a project without having to lose and redo a bunch of work. Like his example is, a scientist does not obscure her sources and her results. She shares them with people, and she shares them and points to them so others can follow. So you want to make sure that you are getting feedback as early in your process as possible so that you can adjust and make a better thing, be more creative, and deliver more value, not to just other people, but also to yourself. Be kind to your future self and make these notes as easy to use as possible. Anything you might think might help your future self use this information, do it. A note on organizing is, don't worry about organizing something and putting it where it belongs the very first time you run into it. Let your brain process it. Like, just get the note in there and then let your brain simmer on it for a little bit. Let it process in your diffuse processing system. And then in like a weekly review session that really, after you do a couple of them, they won't take you very long. If you just spend a few minutes every week just sorting through them and looking at, okay, this thought goes here, what are the projects, where are the thoughts, is there just some random thoughts folder that you have, who knows? Go through them about weekly when your brain has had some time to process, and then put them where they might most apply so that your future self can most easily use them. Thank you so much for watching. If you learned one thing from this video, hit that like button. If you learned 2 things, consider subscribing. And for a deep dive on how to live on 24 hours a day and really truly enjoy it, click this video here and I will see you there. And as always, keep being amazing.